Hi everyone, it's Bev DeBono with Tuesday's Tip. Today I have a great page called Squares in the Round. And to get started, what you're going to need is a base cardstock. You're going to need another color for your inner base and one or two or three different colors for your inside squares. So for today's layout, what I've done is I've selected a platinum shimmer for my outer base, a white cardstock for my inner base, and then a green and an overall pattern for the inside squares. This is a great way to use patterns that have that are very busy, like I did with this one, so it really breaks it up. So to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our 3/4 inch squares, 3 3/4 inch squares. So I have already done several of these. You need 4 of each color, and these are 3 3/4 inch squares. So I'm just going to cut the last 2, 3 3/4 inch, and you'll see how quickly this layout comes together. So you can use, as I said, 2 different patterns, but I'd like to keep this more for of kind of a tonal, but you can mix it up. It's really kind of a fun pattern. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're just going to put these aside for a minute, and we're going to cut our inner base. We're going to start with a 12 by 12 cardstock, and I am going to cut this just a couple of cuts. First, I'm going to cut an 8 by 8. So I lay my cardstock on the 8-inch mark on my trimmer and cut that all the way down. Move to the left, again to the 8-inch mark, and I cut that. And then I take, so now I have 2 of these, and then I take this last piece, the long piece, and I'm going to put it sideways and also cut this to the 8-inch mark. So that is all the cutting that you really need to do for this layout. So when you're done, this is what you have. You have an 8 by 8, you have a 4 by 8, a 4 by 4, and an 8 by 4. Okay, we're now going to use these to make our inner base and then put our squares on the top. So we can set this one aside for now and the 8 by 8 aside. Let's take these 2 and let's put them next to each other, and we're just going to use our tape runner and we're going to weld them together just using our tape right down the middle. So this way we don't have to waste another whole sheet of cardstock. Okay, so now we have created another 8 by 8 piece. We're going to take this and put this now onto our base. And I've selected the platinum shimmer. And what I'm going to do is actually put tape on my other edges. And I'm going to now just flip this around, and I'm going to have the points go to all the 6-inch marks. And I'm going to evenly distribute this using my 13 by 13 mat. I can see exactly where all my 6-inch marks are lining up, and I can have my points precisely at the 6-inch marks. Now I take my other 8 by 8 piece And I am going to tape this on top of it to form a diamond. And this will become the inner base. Now, because this is an 8x8, I'm going to make sure that it is spaced 2 inches in and 2 inches down. And using your 13 by 13 mat, you can really see how easy this is without really measuring or using a ruler. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to find a midpoint. So I do use a ruler for this. I am going to have my ruler at the 6-inch marks from the top, and I'm just going to make a quick little light line, and then the 6-inch lines across. I just want a midpoint so I know exactly where to start and end all of my squares. Now I can start piecing my squares together, and this is just a matter of taping your squares down, but now you know exactly where your midpoint is, and then you're going to evenly place them. And I'm going to alternate. Don't forget, these are 3 3/4 inch squares. And I'm going to alternate between my tonal pattern and my overall pattern. Again, always making sure that one midpoint. Oops. I think this is not a 3 3/4. Okay, so the one midpoint, let's just pretend it is. Okay, and then we will go this way. Oops. Need another tape. And here we go, and so we go from the point to the point. And there we go. For some reason, these were, that particular one was not measured right. Okay, so here we go. Point to point. So you see that it's coming together with a pattern. And this is one of the fastest layouts that you can make. It's a really pretty layout, and just by changing your colors all around, you can really change it up. The paper that I'm using is from the Natural Disposition collection. Okay, and then when you get to here, this is where it might get just a little trickier, because we have to nestle one of our squares inside. So once we get this one, let me put that green near the edge here. So once we get that down, then what we're going to do is we're just going to nestle the other piece. And so we're just going to lift this up and lift this up. It's going to go under this one, oops, over this one, but under that one. And it's going to hit directly in the corner. Okay, here we go. Over this one and under this one. There we go. And we have a really nice page. And if you want this extra piece that you had left over, this 4x4, that could go in the middle. You could do a photo here, or you could do a 4x6 and then a 4 and a 4x4. And then to kind of finish this off, I just got a little piece from the Natural Disposition sticker pack and putting that up at the corner. And then one of our really pretty laser titles. This is in our new pack. We get packs of 20 laser titles, and they're coming out with 4 of these within the year, and that will make a pretty background for the title snapshots. And then if you want, we can add 2 little pearls on the outside of the word, and that will just finish it off. So this is today's technique, my tip, which is squares in the round page, and I hope you like it. You can see that by just changing up your colors, it makes a very different page. And you can use this formula over and over and over. Please let me know if you like the Tuesday technique by liking the Facebook page, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.